Hi, I'm Landon. This is Modern Entrepreneur, episode 2. Today we have Dave Bayer here. He's the author of Mind Hack and founder and CEO of chamberofcommerce.com. David Bayer mentors successful entrepreneurs to increase their bottom lines by multiple six figures in less than 12 months while eliminating stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. As president of David Bayer Coaching, he's trained entrepreneurs, CEOs, professional athletes, and organizations on the mental habits necessary to develop an invincible mindset. David Bayer has built and sold successful businesses for the last 20 years. Good, so we just have the 6 questions, as you know. Yeah. The first one is, what do you think is your unique skill set?
I'm a very good learner, and you combine that with good listening, and then that lends to being an effective coach.
Right, awesome.
Yeah.
So, so obviously you have a coaching business. It sounds like chamberofcommerce.com, several businesses. What is, would you say, is the 1 or 2 top things that are working right now for you to grow those businesses?
Well, I think it's the fact that we lead with impact and value for our customers and clients. So everything that we're doing from a content development standpoint to a product development standpoint is really focused on how can we create the most value.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And really even before that, we've gotten clear on who our clients are, what their pain points are, what success looks like for them.
Yeah.
And how to take them along that journey from pain point to success. So being really clear on our target client and understanding that journey, and focusing at the same time on creating value versus how can we generate the most money, or what is convenient for us in terms of the product or content development cycle. Has really allowed us to create the growth that we're experiencing.
So fundamentally,
right now.
it's about creating results for a specific target market more than marketing tricks or anything like that.
Yeah, and taking the time to understand your client. I think a lot of times we think we understand the client, but if you ask the client, what's your biggest frustration, what's your biggest challenge, what's your biggest pain point, a lot of times we get responses that we didn't even expect.
Yeah. If you could kind of like go back, what do you know now that you wish you would have known then?
It really comes down to what I teach today, which is being aware of how I'm thinking.
Self-awareness.
Yeah, self-awareness, and also understanding then that really whatever I want to create in my life is possible, as long as I'm applying intelligent thinking and as long as I'm taking action and not spending time in self-doubt, stress, anxiety, overwhelm.
Yeah.
But the journey over the last 20 years has been a realization of that, right? So at some level, I would never want to shortcut that experience because it's led to where I am now.
Right.
But if I could go back 20 years and take the knowledge I have now around what's possible and how to create it, that's the thing I would bring back.
It would have killed it, yeah. It's interesting. I've often thought and actually talked about how the ability, I think, for entrepreneurs to have empathy is like the killer app in business. And by empathy, I mean just literally the ability to kind of like get outside of your thinking and see the world in somebody else's, through somebody else's eyes, so that you can actually kind of like get integrated and aligned with what the world looks like for them and what their problems are, and then be able to speak to them in a way that makes some kind of sense. Yeah,
I agree with that 100%. The challenge with that, of course, is that by nature we're self-obsessed, right? Yeah. It's the survival-based nature of the way our thinking takes place.
Yeah.
And you can't have empathy when you're completely consumed by yourself and your own needs. So that journey to empathy is about seeing the self-obsession that's taking place and realizing the limitation it's creating on your life.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's kind of like, if you came to me and you said, my hand hurts, and I said, Landon, look down, and you realized you were slamming your own hand in the door, you would never do it again.
Right.
So to see your own self-obsession and to realize it's cutting you off from the rest of the world is a really, really important part of transformation.
Right. Interesting. And that's basically what your trainings aim to do for people.
For entrepreneurs, yeah.
Legacy. Tell me about what you'd like to see your legacy be.
That's a good question. As an organization, our mission statement is to end suffering in the world, because we understand that suffering is a result of unintelligent thinking, and we're working with people to actually end the suffering experience in their lives. But I think it's, in terms of a legacy, it's that I think it's more about that I gave, like that I showed up and I gave, and for me it's more about, I don't know that anybody on the outside of me can see my legacy. For myself, it's about that I delivered what I was capable of delivering and created what I was capable of creating in the world.
Yeah.
Right? As opposed to allowing fear
Yeah.
to limit what I was capable of.
Right, you just gave it all.
Yeah.
Left it on the field.
Yeah, I showed up and I did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what's next? What would you like to learn next?
You know, right now we're in the process of like taking our events to a whole new level. So it's a full production event, 3-day events. It's an expansion of what we've been doing, and that process has really stretched me. So there's so many moving pieces around, you know, putting an event out there, from the event production and coordination to the development of the content to the way I show up at the event, all of the marketing that leads up to the event.
It's a big deal.
So going through that learning process has been an extraordinary evolution for me. It's happening right now. In fact, I can't think about what's next because it's such a stretch right now that I'm just in it.
Yeah, going big from like a relatively small event to like a big 3-day ordeal. Yeah, organizational nightmare.
Yeah, it is challenges for sure, yeah.
Absolutely, and I feel your pain, trust me.
So I was telling someone the other day, I said, you know, you want to do a live event, it's probably an easier thing to send a rocket to the moon than all the moving pieces of throwing a successful event.
It could be, yeah, it is. It is definitely a challenge. So we call this thing Modern Entrepreneur. What does it mean to you to be a modern entrepreneur?
I think it's really about, you know, aligning your gifts and talents and what you're passionate about and finding a way to package that up and contribute it and create in the world. Yeah. Right? And while doing it at the same time that you're, you know, creating prosperity for yourself, you're designing a lifestyle that's congruent with the way that you want to live. Yeah. And, you know, I mean, in summary, I would say it's about having it all. It's about having it all and giving all of yourself to the people that you serve at the same time. Yeah. Yeah.
It's an exciting time.
It's a super exciting time because anything is possible. I mean, you know, I realized this morning as I'm checking my email and I had a Skype call, like our ability to create right now is unprecedented because of the level of connectivity and access to resources we have. Absolutely. It's awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
And it's awesome that you were here. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, Landon.
All right, awesome. And now you got to sign the wall.
Oh, okay, great. Great.
Rather than being boxed into something, I think the world of being an entrepreneur nowadays, you can do it from your bedroom if you want to be. If you're an introvert and you don't want to talk to the world, you can be a very clever entrepreneur in that space, or you could be someone that wants to be out and be known by thousands of people